Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Thank you for coming. First order of business is we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. So please rise and join me for the pledge. Remove your hat if you've got one on. And we have the middle school students. They're going to help us along the way.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next up, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to adopt the amended agenda as published.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that motion passes. All right, first order of business is Sandpoint Middle School presentation. All right, we've got Crosby Tatum here.
Yeah, Crosby Tatum, assistant principal for the middle school. Chairman Williams, Clerk Fisher, members of the board, thanks for having us tonight. Mr. Penrose, our principal, is down in Boise, working hard with the State Department of Education Oversight Committee. At least that's what he tells us. I'm sure that's happening. And I'm pleased to be here to introduce Mrs. Dickinson and our Community Service Club. Ms. Dickinson and these bullpups, they're at our school in the morning early, many days during the week, working hard to organize their activities and get stuff going, and I'm just super excited to introduce them tonight. So thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tatum.
Hi, my name's Charlie Hanson. Hi, my name's Cassidy Fortier. My name's Claire LeBaron. I'm Harper McKenna. My name's Zoe Fortier. My name's Rayla Jolly.
Leon's not here, but that's him.
Okay.
I'm Brielle Tate. I'm Genevieve Davis.
I'm Parker Bond.
What is Community Service Club? Our club gives back to the community by creating fun, meaningful projects that help people in need and make our school a better place. We work together with our school and community partners to solve problems. We value leadership, empathy, and having fun while making a positive difference. We usually meet 2 or more times a week before school, and we often come in during lunch and flex too if we're working hard on our projects.
Design thinking. What exactly is it? Design thinking is a well-known problem-solving process. First, you identify the task or problem, and then you start researching to gain knowledge and empathy towards your task. Then, we start brainstorming. We use a technique called rapid ideating. This is where we set a timer for 3 to 4 minutes and write anything that comes to mind down. We then transfer these ideas to sticky notes and put them up on our whiteboard to be able to discuss good and doable ideas. Then we implement these ideas. This is when we take the ideas from rapid ideating and put them into control. For example, during the school food drive, we needed to decide how to collect food. And so we put boxes in our home-based classrooms so that we could come and collect the food while students could put the food in there. And then finally we evaluate. This happens during the project and after the project. During the project, we're evaluating if something's not going right or if we want to add something into it. And then after, we're evaluating what we did good and what we can do better for next time.
What have we done? So for the school year, we did a school-wide food drive. We raised 1,124 items for our Bonner County Food Bank. Our original goal was 800 items, and we overreached this goal by 200 plus items. The next thing we did was a December house competition. This was a competition between all the houses at SMS, and it supported the school spirit and created a sense of community throughout our school. What was the house competition? Our house competition included red cards, food drive items, recess and lunch behavior, and spirit days. Red cards are red slips that teachers and staff hand out to students, which is responsible, engaged, and dependable. The next thing is recess and lunch behavior. Every student tries to get the least amount of referrals or no referrals at all at lunch or recess to help their team win. Next is Spirit Days. When we did Spirit Days, we would choose a week for all students to dress up, usually around a holiday, so we would have a theme to go with. When we did this competition, Greenhouse won. Greenhouse earned an hour in the lunchroom with donuts and hot chocolate, served by Community Service Club. They also got screen time on their phones, and also we built a photo booth for taking pictures with their friends.
What is next? Next we are doing a project with the modern homeless transitions. We're gonna have a director with the modern homeless transitions, Rebecca Littleson. What we're doing next is we're doing a project with the Source of Strengths wheel, which our first project is our positive friendship chain, which Riley and Brielle will fill you in on.
What is a positive friend? A positive friend is somebody who uplifts you and never tears you down. They support your dreams and goals. They make you feel seen, loved, supported, and heard. They always put their best effort into the friendship, and they push you to become the best version of yourself.
We created a slideshow to educate our school on what positive friends are. This will be shown in a home-based class on Mondays. We hand students a slip of colored paper, and they write down their positive friend and why. And then we collect the slips of paper, and we put them together like this, so it's a chain. And then we're going to hang them around in the hall, and we'd like you guys to help us start it. So with the slip of paper, you are going to write down the name of your positive friend, and then why you're a positive friend.
The name of my positive friend and why?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Jay, it's all you.
Just put Williams, just don't put the person.
We started our friendship chain.
Thank you. And then thank you. Oh, we got one more. It was hard, it took me a while to think.
I had to really think.
Couldn't really think.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Do you meet every morning?
No, we
times a
only
week?
meet Wednesdays and Mondays.
But
So
it depends on what project we're doing, because sometimes we will meet every morning, like recently.
And is this the amount of kids that are in it right here? Are there more kids or?
There's one missing.
Okay.
Liam.
Okay.
When he shows up. He's here when he shows up.
Well, I think it's fantastic, you guys. It's great that you guys are giving back. The donuts made me hungry. Good work. I love to see it.
Go Pups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Do you guys want culture? And then
Hey guys, hold on. Sorry, I jumped the gun. We do have treats for you. They're not actually for me. I was just kidding. They're yours. And I think we probably, should we grab a quick photo? For,
Yeah, perfect.
Will you guys all gather together up here with the board?
Us just being
You had the little cards, the number card. I need to find a shortcut.
Out a little bit.
Okay. Do we need to put another
There you
person
go.
on here?
There we go. That's perfect. Okay, everybody smile. Say bull pups.
Bull pups.
All right, there we go. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Craig.
Got it, you guys. Here's your cupcakes. Must be present to win, so. Thank you guys. Thank you.
I don't know what the TVs are doing, but they just flashed. TVs?
I don't think I ever got one of those either.
Crosby and your brother got plenty of those, but it was different.
Great from you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cross.
Thanks, you guys. Hi, Dana. Hi, Bowens.
And,
All right.
yeah, see you later. They all cleared out, Brian, just for you.
Yep. They heard you were coming up.
They are smart kids.
Comes the fun police. We are having
Not technical difficulty.
minor speed bump in the technical side of things.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Brian Wallace, you are up next for CFO report.
Chair Williams, members of the board, Ms. Fisher. So the finance report, again, same format as previous months. As we go to the next slide. So on the revenue side at the top, you'll see the monthly activity. There is one big number. It's a supplemental levy. So this is reporting on January, and really, people get their bills in December. It's sent to the county, and the county gets them to us usually in January. So that was posted. So it's a little over half of our property tax revenues for the year. The rest will come in really in July at the next 6 months. So, revenue side, we're more than 67% to the year of revenues received. We'll get a state payment this month, which is another big chunk, and we're getting close to how much money we'll get for the year. Expenditures, actually the monthly activity, our salaries and benefits are really consistent. It's right around 3.5, 3.6 million as far as the general fund for salaries and benefits. We had very little spending in our purchased material supplies, which is, around the holidays, things weren't ordering, things like that. But, the one thing that you do like to see is consistency in patterns. You see like our year-to-date expenditures to budget, when you compare to budget, the last 3 years, we're like really the same pattern, which I think just means that we're budgeting okay and the spending is within that alignment, whether we plan to spend fund balance down or earn money. It's good that we're consistent. We don't, like, if you saw a big anomaly, you might go, oh, did we hire a lot more people than we thought we budgeted for, something like that. Right. So that looks good. And then next slide is just our expenditures for the year. Just as the green keeps moving up, you'll see that we're about halfway through with salaries and benefits. Right here, we're almost the second semester, so that makes sense. And the other items we're doing good for the month.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Bouncing back and forth there.
For the month, this is just month's expenditures. You'll see that because we had so little spending in supplies and materials, that the percentage of salaries and benefits per month was just a larger percentage. But in September, that number was down to like 80%. So it averaged it. At the end of the year, will be 86%.
Yeah. Quick question on the last slide on insurance. Is there more insurance revenue to come? Is there an offset coming from the state?
No,
that's the increase that we had to eat.
Right. Okay. So so the insurance was the increase at $439.
Yep.
We do get a tort levy that we levy, which is part of it's in if you go to the first slide, where it says it's part of the other local tax, so it's not, I don't include it as the supplemental levy, just what they vote. So some of that 573 is our tort levy, that helps cover some of that cost.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a little more than we budgeted on the
Yeah.
spending side,
Yeah, I was just curious. Thank you.
And then, but on the revenue side, you can see just on supplemental levy, how, last month it was around 600,000, so if we're halfway there or a little bit more, and the other dollars are in good shape. Enrollment, if you look compared to last year, we're down 8 kids at the same time. If you look at last month, we're down 20 kids, which is pretty typical right around this time of the year, where some secondary kids who might be struggling for graduation stuff, a lot of times they'll either go to an online school, you're not quite sure. Some of those numbers, some of them might be a time in, maybe they're going to LPO and things like that, but it's pretty typical that secondary numbers sort of drop almost every school district the second semester, just a little bit. So, not unexpected, but sometimes they look for other options if they're behind. Then finally, the items of note. So on the state funding, there's definitely going to be, next year's going to be a more challenging budget year for sure. It looks like K-12 won't have any funding cuts. There may not be any funding increases either. But if those cuts, the 1% to 2% happen, some, like the universities might have it happen this year, not just coming up. So this would just be our impact. We're about 1% of of the kids in the state. So when they say, oh, it's $100 million statewide, we're like $1 million, right? So if that 27.5 would be those sort of impacts that they came down the pike, we don't know, because decisions haven't been made. Hopefully that won't be the case. Enrollment projection, we're going to be conservative enrollment and sort of go down about 1% that we were this year.
Okay.
3,747. Part of the reason is, we've had those low kinder numbers, some low classes. The other thing is we had a really small 8th grade class, and they're moving up to the high school, and they're smaller than the senior class that's leaving. So some of that, sometimes you get those bubbles where you just have a small class and a big class, but that is sort of, when you just sort of look really on the roll-up numbers, that's one reason we're seeing a drop. But 189 funding units compared to 191. So when we build budget, we'll have to take that into account. This year, a funding unit is worth about $155,000.
Okay.
So
310.
So about 310 of revenues, and so we're looking at all the places like as we're starting to have the departments work on budget next year and some of the requests, we're asking that they submit discretionary spending, a 5%
cut
reduction, right? So it's not in staffing. We're looking at those two as we look at retirements or resignations and how can that fit. But just on stuff, and so it might be, we'll let the departments heads make that decision, but maybe Matt purchases one less vehicle next year.
Right.
Because he thinks, so things like that, for 1 year, it's good to take a look, say, that they're all looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, when you factor that in with the state cut, we're pushing up against $1 million.
Possibly,
depending on what
we'll
happens
have
at the state level. Fingers crossed there.
Yeah,
But,
right, and the other thing that we're looking at is that there'll definitely be an increase in healthcare.
right.
The premiums, don't know, we haven't got any solid dollars, but definitely work with our, the broker, the state insurance plan. Well, we're not an insurance plan,
Right.
we're with the benefit council, they call it, but that probably is gonna be a challenging year on that end. So there's a lot going on, but, fortunately, we're in, financially a good spot where we do have some fund reserves so that if we needed to dip into them a little bit and be planful moving forward, we have that opportunity.
Soften the blow.
Some of our,
too.
some of our neighboring districts and districts across the state don't have that luxury. So that's been good planning well before I got here. So, but I'm sort of not the positive person like the Sandpoint Middle School school both times. Sorry. But there is some good news, is that on the bill that just passed Congress and is waiting for President Trump's signature, that our CCLC after-school program that's at Farmstead, Well, Kootenai, and Southside, which we thought was gonna go away, is funded for next year and flat, so that's really good news. And I also, some of the other federal programs that might have been caught, we think are in that same thing, will get, we're not counting the money until it's 100%, but that is at least good on the federal side, or some of the, we thought we might have to make some adjustments moving forward.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's
Some
good.
news. Yeah,
All right.
it's really good.
See? There you go.
See, you ended on a good note.
That was good planning.
Right. And here for questions.
Any question?
No.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
And next up, we have the superintendent report.
Nope. Data report.
Just kidding. Mid-year data report with Dr. Casey McLaughlin.
Okay. All right, thank you, board members. Appreciate the opportunity to come up. This is one of my favorite things, is talking through the data. I do it 3 times a year. The winter data report, go ahead. Thanks. So the winter data report, we really focus on what we call formatives, right? Looking at all the formative pieces of where we're going, where we're at, and where we're going. We always look at our goals and the goals that you helped us set. And so the first goal that we have is our one trusted adult. And that's been something that I think has been, right, it's been pretty impactful in our district, for sure. Our graduation rate, we're always looking to increase. That's of course a huge measure for any school district. And then student achievement. And discussing with the board, we determined that the 2 most important things this year to look at were our reading scores and our math scores. So moving forward, so as we discuss this, I want to start with the one trusted adult. I think this is a huge driver of what we do in this district, is creating those relationships with students. And you can see, and this is something to be really proud of as a district as a whole, you see it every fall to winter, that growth mark right there, those few months typically from September to February. You can see where we started when we began this at 23, 24 to 84%, and then fall to winter 24, 25 up to 91.6, and then now 95.3. So we progressively have gotten more effective. We've gotten better at this, but we've learned how to do this, and of course, we have new strategies to be able to bring students in and create those relationships. The second part is student achievements. Go ahead, and this is what I mean by the formative. We take a lot of different formative kind of dipsticks at this time of year to really see where our students are at and what kind of areas that we need to run to as a school district. Individual schools do this. Every single school runs the MAP assessment, which is the measures of academic progress. We have a MIRA, which is our IRI. It's a new testing software, testing program for our Idaho reading indicator. And then of course we look at our grades, especially secondary schools this time of year are far more difficult because they don't typically have those measures like IRI and MIRA that we can look at and say, okay, this is where every student is at. So we do rely on grades, but we also rely on things like attendance to look at and say, okay, how are we doing? Now to start with MIRA and the Idaho reading indicator, this is district-wide, and what I mean by that is kindergarten through 3rd grade. And you can look at where our students sat in September at 57%. Now, this is a new platform. Amira has some challenges with it, but we're learning to adjust. But if you look at, we started at 57% with 24% in the red. I just want to point out, we are now sitting in December when we took our last full measure, and then I'm still getting the data from January. But our last full measure in December was 71% in the grade, which is excellent. Super excited to see that. And then 13% in the red. So we're really excited about that progress and that growth, and it continues to go up. You can go to the next slide. This is grade by grade, and so every single grade level. So if you look at kindergarten, right, this is really actually very exciting right now. 8%, right? That red is really exciting to see that, hey, we only have 8% in the red. And when you look at 1st grade, we have 5% in the red in 1st grade. And then you can keep going. 2nd grade, what does that tell us? It's formative. This tells us this is a grade level we need to put some resources into. And we need to look at and say, okay, we're at 66% right now. We really need to look at, how do we help out? Where are the tough spots? How do we bring our instructional coaches to go into the classroom and help in that area. And of course, third grade, you can see that too. Now, I do want to point out, this has been one of the most exciting years in terms of our map at this time of year. We have 4 schools, Farmington Stidwell, Hope Elementary, Northside Elementary, and Washington Elementary, that at every single grade level achieved in both reading and math at what we call high achievement and high growth. That means every student or every grade level is achieving very high. So according to the MAP assessment, which norms across the country, our students are all achieving high, and they're also, the students aren't just staying stagnant, they're also showing high growth, which that is, for us, that's a huge celebration. We're really excited to see that. And then the other schools, the other 3 elementary schools, just so you know, they've got like 1 grade in 1 area that may not be right there. So we're right there with everybody, which is what we want to see. Point out a few, and something for each school, and I could point out several different things, but I asked the principals, what are you really excited about, and are sharing with your staff. And so here's one for Northside Elementary. If you look, this is what we call a quadrant chart at the top. And you'll notice that high achievement quadrant, that's also high growth. So if you look at the all the way to the side of it, you can see the high growth, and then you can see high achievement. You can see where all the grade levels sit in there. I also want to point out that when you see a chart like this one, notice the difference. This is when we tested in the fall. Notice the amount of blue. This is when we tested in the winter. Okay, notice the amount, like how we're growing, and that is a growth chart to show what's the differences that are happening in that amount of time. And that also helps us to look and say, okay, where do we need, right? Where do we need those resources? Where do we need help? Farmington Stidwell, again, this is exciting. So if you look at their overall reading score in kindergarten, and in kindergarten you can see it just bumps up all the way, right, all the way to 78%. And sometimes when you see a chart actually like this, go down from 77% to 78, it looks like it drops. It's because we gained students. Some new students, entered into that grade level. And you can just see the amount of growth, right, on this side as well. So you can see how it jumps on the very bottom there, the distribution from 13% to 23%. Hope Elementary, similar. Okay, you can see the amount of growth and for students, and this is for reading up top. On the very top is reading, and on the bottom is the math growth. And just great growth there again, right? Look at how the red shrinks, right? And how the blue grows. And of course the green grows as well, which are students that are right there achieving well. Washington, this is a little bit different chart, but this is really exciting data. There's my hammers in back there right now. If you look at that diamond represents, and this is just a different graph that Matt puts out, but that diamond represents where they project, MAP projects after you take your fall test, they project that you're going to achieve somewhere within that diamond. So your growth will go somewhere within that diamond. Look how far past that diamond we are in reading and in math at Washington Elementary. So really exciting. That is well surpassing the projected growth of what the MAP assessment believed, according to national norms, that the school is going to achieve by this time of the year. So that's very exciting. Southside Elementary, and Principal Smith is back there. Again, exciting. You can see for their math growth, right, for the quadrant chart, high achievement, high growth. You can also see in, right, with math, you can notice that growth on the bottom. It's pretty exciting, the shrinking of that red. I don't know where it went.
So I'm there, Casey.
Just be right around that. I can hold up my computer.
Off the chart.
Anyway, yeah, good news.
Let me refresh it. It's still blank.
I'll hold it up. Okay, I will come back to you next
Okay.
month. It's in there, so.
Not enough time for
Okay, then again, Sagal, and you can see just that amount right with the diamonds. Again, just an incredible growth in the quadrant chart there too. So really excited to see both math and reading. The secondaries are a little bit different. They don't use the MAP exam. They do use the MAP. However, in this case, this is a little bit different proficiency assessment that they're using. But just to show you, their 7th grade growth in particular, You look at, in December, 7% of their students were at 100% proficiency on their math standards that they had covered so far. By February 6th, they had 50%, right? So a ton of growth, students were learning. Okay, and then in 8th grade, they had 28%, and then by February 6th, 53%, right? So you're seeing that growth, which is what we want, right? That's what we're after. Sandpoint High School, we were looking really, and I was working with Principal Crossingham, and really looking at grades and how are students achieving. And so we always look at the prior year, and say, okay, how are they doing? So you can see in ELA, right, they were last year at this time after semester 1, 98%. We're right there at 97% this year, but at quarter 1, look at the growth. At 93% of students were passing their classes in ELA, and now 97%. You can see that with math, we're seeing a bump from 94 to 96, science from 95 to 97, social studies 98 to 99%. That represents the students who are passing their classes, which is really actually phenomenal what has happened at Sandpoint High School in that regard. You're seeing the number of Fs go significantly down every single year. Sandpoint Middle School, I want to point this out because often our SEC or our special education students are they're overlooked in the progress that they're making. And this is huge. The intervention, the reading intervention, the students that are our SEC students, 30 of them at the beginning of the year needed specifically designed reading instruction, and now in February, only 12 do, which shows you that group of students, that 18 students, have shown enough progress to test out of that, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Last one I want to show, and this is a little bit different, and there's a ton of words on this, but I wanted to show if you remember in the fall, I had pointed out LPO, Lake Pond High School, had struggled with their grad rate. And so they have made a really consistent effort this year to say, okay, what are all the things that go into grad rate? If you look, their OTA, their one trusted adult, I put it right under there because it's at 97%. So they've put a lot of stock in making sure that they are building relationships with students. They also, the reason why I put this chart down there was because their attendance is another piece where they said, if we're really going to impact and have more graduates at LPOHS, we want to make sure they are in the classroom. We really struggle if the students aren't showing up. And so you'll notice they went through an entire data cycle and said, okay, what is the problem? Well, the problem is students aren't coming to school. Okay, why are they not? So they had a lot of different ideas of why, and they said, okay, so now what are we going to do about this? And they created all sorts of strategies, and they are, and I'm happy to say, we are seeing progress in that area, and their attendance is going up. So pretty exciting markers. We definitely have, you can go to the next slide. We definitely have areas where we can grow, and there's definitely areas all throughout this that we're looking at and saying, okay, this is an area of growth. But overall, this is one of the best years, and I think our entire principal K-12 admin group would tell you this is the best we have ever felt about the math assessment, for sure, in our formative measures at this point in the year. And that's amazing, because what we're seeing now is we're seeing very specific interventions take place, and we know where and why kids are struggling. Sometimes in the past, kids would struggle and you wonder why, and you're trying to guess and you're trying to figure out, we know why now. And I think that's a huge, there's a big pat on the back to all our teachers and our principals and our instructional and coaching staff. So,
Yeah, that's great.
right, any questions?
Any questions from you guys?
Really good, thanks, Casey.
Oh, very good. Yeah,
Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Case.
All right, thanks. That's good, because I'm supposed to write down the questions you have too. It's hard to do.
All right, well, don't go running anywhere because Mr. McLaughlin is gonna step in for Dr. Becky Meyer and go through the superintendent report for us.
All right, so strategic plan, you're all aware of our strategic plan, but just to, we constantly are having discussions about that the center, right? Students are the center of everything. Safe schools and facilities, go ahead and jump to the next one. What we are doing, we're focused this last month, we've been talking a lot about getting our kits, our Stop the Bleed kits, and we've had a lot of different groups helping us. We are currently at 130 Stop the Bleed kits in the district. We will add up to 143 because of a grant by Panhandle Health. So that's pretty exciting. We're gonna have those.
Payfin or
Oh,
any
yeah,
MS.
sorry. PAVE, NRA, the local NRA, and EMS have also contributed as well. Here's our CTEC. There's been progress, significant progress made even since then.
Yep.
It's looking really good, and it's coming along, and we're making a lot of changes. So, okay, recruit and retain. This is our staff wellness program. We have a pickleball, so if anybody wants, if you guys are bored, if you'd like to participate in pickleball, here's your opportunity. 4:30 to 7, Thursday, March 12th.
I think I'd get hurt.
What's that?
I said I think I'd probably get hurt.
I know.
You know me.
Yeah. Pull your cap.
Exactly. Something would pop.
There goes our insurance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, approved student connection, and it is CTE Appreciation Month. Obviously, CTE is a big push for us, and those are all the areas that we do. This is, and this, these are all the benches that are put out right on the Long Branch. Super exciting, and we just want to thank the VFW for what they did to contribute to that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Student Safety Summit is coming up on Wednesday. It's at April 15th, and that's at 5:30 p.m. It's going to really focus on, I don't know why this font is this.
It does not look like that here.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't, but, well, it erased Kootenai's thing, but it's mental
Yep.
health, well-being, and suicide awareness. So those are the areas that we are focused on. And last year was really amazing. Last couple of years that we've done this, we've had a really good turnout.
I was asked to take a picture of this from the head guy at the VFW, so
Perfect.
thank you. Perfect. Now I'm getting good.
Great. Okay, community connections.
Sorry.
You're okay. We just hired a new community relations coordinator, Shelby Strews. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so Shelby Strews, we're really excited. She's hit the ground running. It's been absolutely phenomenal so far, so we're really excited. And she's been working on our January loop as we speak, so our February loop.
February.
So she's going for it. And then again, student learning is at the center of all we do. So,
Green light to shine.
okay.
With your
Oh, we
video.
got a couple other things.
We're going. We're going.
So it is February 12th is Crossing Guard Appreciation Day. So if you see them out there, Mr. Watkins, don't hit him with a car.
Definitely.
And it's also Love the Bus Month. So Dr. Meyer put that on there to make sure that we are just saying thank you to our bus drivers. And happy 100th day of school. We can't actually tell you when that is because some of our kids start earlier than others, who are kindergartens. And so it always confuses us in the district office, and every year we say that we're gonna make it one day, and all the principals say, you can't, it'll confuse the kids, so, we don't, but, anyway.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah,
100th day.
and again, there's the goals. Any questions?
Thank you, Casey.
Good job.
Thank you for letting me stand in.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
you did a great job.
Good.
Yep.
Very good.
We will tell Dr. Meyer you did a great job.
Why,
She's gonna
thank
watch. She's gonna
Yeah.
watch.
She won't know, she's out of it right now.
There are no public comments.
Yep, we have no public comments, so we will move on to the consent agenda. We'll entertain a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. That motion passes. Next, we will move on to board action items. First item up, we have the approval of the district calendars for the 26 and 27 and 27-28 school years. They're published there. We've got both the certified calendars and the student calendars for both years published for anybody to look at. Do you guys have any questions on those or anything that we wanted to go through? Okay. Got a motion here that I'll entertain if you want to go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the district calendars for the 2026-27 and 2027-28 school years as presented.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes, thank you. All right, next up, we have a request for distribution of research survey information. So a student at the University of Idaho is requesting this information. We do have Dr. Joy Jansen here to answer any questions, if there are any questions. It's a pretty straightforward request, for his doctoral work. So I will entertain anybody has any questions of Joy, go ahead and entertain a motion if we're ready.
It's all good.
Okay.
Once you read all that.
I'll try it.
I'll be your positive
Yeah,
friend. believe me.
I move to approve the request for voluntary distribution of a research survey to secondary general education teachers as part of a University of Idaho doctoral dissertation study.
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. Thank you. And next up, I will entertain a motion to ratify the superintendent's decision as published.
I make a motion to ratify the superintendent's decision to place employee A on paid administrative leave.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 That motion passes. Thank you. All right, moving on to the second reading of policies. This first one up is 2448. It's the new policy on virtual instruction. Do we have any questions from first reading or anything that you guys need to discuss? Okay. I will entertain a motion from that.
I make a motion to adopt policy 2448, district provided virtual instruction.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have 2605, advancement requirements, grade 6 through 9. Pretty straightforward changes on here. Anything you guys want to discuss since first looked at it? Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to adopt the revisions to policy 2605, advancement requirements.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. Next up, we are on to administrative announcements. And we've got a whole slew of you administrators in here, so not all at once.
Not all at once.
I'll go first.
Okay, here we go.
I was so prepared last time.
Come on, Smith.
Sorry. I beat you to it. I was so prepared, and now I'm not. So I am prepared. So I want to first talk about our 4th annual January Aloha Dance that we had in January at Northside. We had 91 families. 91. I mean, I don't even know if we have that many families. We had 91 families sign in at the front door with 250 humans in our building for our January Aloha Dance. So that was a really cool night. Mr. McLaughlin stole my thunder, but we are high achieving, high growth in both areas, math and ELA on our MAP test. So that was like super, super exciting. And then tomorrow we have an early literacy training for our families where we get to teach them Voweltown, and we're providing childcare for that.
Excellent.
I don't come with props.
She's raising the bar.
Yeah.
Next time. Apparently January Aloha came after I left her, so
Yes, it did.
I just want to thank both Chair Williams for your work with our finance fair on Friday. That was fun with the seniors, so such a great time with the kids.
And Trustee Williams.
Yeah, so they just really positive. We got great feedback from the kids. They learned a lot, had a really awesome day. So if you don't know, the seniors get to go through some simulations and activities, and they find out that it's expensive growing up, and children cost a lot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the takeaways that they pull out of that whole experience. But it's also interesting as we start this second semester. We actually just completed our forecasting for next year, so our students are getting ready to register for courses for next year. So that's always exciting too. So we are living in, as you can see, the present, but planning for the future too. So that's Sandpoint High School.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Cosmo.
All right, Southside just wrapped up all of our MAP testing, and we have been celebrating our growth for like 2 weeks now.
All right.
So with whole school, we've been celebrating with teachers, we've been celebrating with students for their hard work and focus, and then we are making our plans for ISATs coming up. So really diving into our PLC data cycles and just keeping the focus on that. And it was a beautiful first day of spring today. All of the students' energy has bloomed, and I am grateful that nobody left from the top of the big toy. Because we still have Valentine's Day to get through.
use their strength finders and pick their strength and pick a leadership job in the school. And my sixth graders, I believe I was in a meeting and they organized a dress up week. So we're dressing up this week.
All right.
And everybody's on board. So it's been pretty fun. Today was twin day.
Ooh.
Nice.
Tomorrow is boys against girls. Boys wear red, girls wear pink. So I think girls usually have more pink than boys.
Yeah. I think you're gonna win that one.
But it helps that bulldogs are red, so I think there'll be lots of changes.
Yeah, there will be a lot of Excellent. Well, thank you, guys. Dr. Jansen, anything?
Brian
for-
already shared it.
Yeah.
We received our email from the state about our federal funds, which
Yeah.
is really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
there were some cuts we thought were gonna come, and it looks like,
Yeah.
particularly with Title II or professional development, it looks like we're gonna keep it. Now we just gotta go through.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Excellent. All right, well, I think that's it. Meeting adjourned. No.
You set the bar 45 minutes to find it.
I think the meeting next week.